This is the Forst TR8 wood chipper. As you can see, it is a track model wood chipper. Let's dive into it. So a little background on Forst. The company began in 2014 in the United Kingdom. They have just recently made their entry into the United States market. But upon first inspection of this machine, the very first thing I notice is fit and finish and durability. This machine is built extremely well. The fit and finish is fantastic. It is a very serviceable, easy to use machine with very little maintenance required, and has a very good reputation for not clogging very easily at all. In fact, it's very, very difficult to clog this chipper. So they have a very unique design that we'll dive into here shortly. So while Forst does make towable units, they have this product, which is a little different than your standard wood chipper that you would use to tow behind your chip truck and chip material into the back of your dump body. Some applications call for you maneuvering your machine into a tighter or less accessible area. That's where the Forst TR8 comes in. This is a track model. It does include an operator station with forward and reverse joysticks. It will operate very similarly to a skid steer, and you do have an engine RPM adjustment here on the side. One thing that stood out to me as being a little different than chippers that we do typically see here in the United States is the feed in reverse. This bar typically is your feed. On this unit, it's actually an emergency stop, so that if someone does happen to get an article of clothing or their hand caught in a branch or something and it begins to pull them in, long before you get anywhere near the business end of this unit, you have an opportunity to grab this bar, and that's going to immediately stop the feeder from pulling whatever into the unit. You also do have this emergency stop switch here. So you may be wondering, how reliable are these touch buttons for activating the feed or reverse on your chipper? These buttons are manufactured by the exact same company that makes the touch buttons for the public transportation department in the United Kingdom. So if these buttons are good enough for public transportation in the United Kingdom, they're certainly good enough for this chipper. So transporting the unit, if you're transporting this unit on a trailer, you can very easily, you have these latches here that secure the hopper in the down position, but when you're transporting the unit, you can conceal it upright and lock these in place, and that's going to make the machine much more compact for transport. Also help prevent any remaining debris you might have in the chute from being expelled from the rear of the unit when it's on a trailer. I do also want to mention there are some safety switches. The unit will not allow you to initiate feed if you have the chute in the upright position like this. And then once you're ready to go ahead and continue chipping, you just release the tabs, lower the chute, and then put your locking tabs back in place to secure it in the down position. And as I mentioned, the safety switch is located right here. If there is metal contacting that safety switch, the unit will not allow you to initiate the feed. That's a safety feature to make sure it's ready to operate before it begins to actually feed material into the chipper. So the Forst TR8, as well as every Forst chipper, does have a sensor both for the chute and for the hood. It will not allow you to initiate the feed on the chipper if the chute is in the upright position, like so, or if the hood is left open. It will not allow you to initiate the feeder into the chipper for everybody's safety. But that is displayed right here on the screen. If we push the center button here, it tells us the status. See how the hood is displaying green. That's displaying the hood is closed and ready for operation. However, this icon here is for the chute, and it is not green. That's because we do have the chute in the upright position currently. While we're right here, I want to talk about fuel fill, grease ports, and adjusting your feed speed. So conveniently located next to the control panel and ignition, you do have a knob to control the speed of the feeder. So you can adjust the speed of that feeder, and that's going to determine whether you get larger or smaller chips. Here next to the control panel, we also have a series of grease ports. This allows you to grease every grease location on the chipper from the track system up. Another thing I do like about the diesel fuel tank is they do give you a relatively transparent fuel tank, so you can quickly and easily determine how much fuel you have left in the machine. All right, let's talk a little bit about the power plant in the TR8. So to open the hood, we simply have a latch on each side of the unit. And you can lock these too with a padlock. I just noticed that. That's nice to help secure your machine and ensure that no one's tampering with it if you do happen to leave it on a job site. Once you have the hood latches released, you can go to the rear of the unit and give this a good hefty pull. And that's going to raise the hood open for you and give you clear access to that engine bay. So from a service standpoint, the first thing that stands out to me is how much room you have to work on this machine. I mean, it looks very simplistic for what it is, and there's a lot of clear access for regular service and maintenance. This is a 55 horsepower Doosan 3-cylinder diesel. Outstanding machine. Here we do have the fill port for our hydraulic tank, and then we do have a sight glass to check our hydraulic oil here very quickly and easily. You might ask yourself, how well is an 8-inch chipper really going to perform in comparison to some of these much larger 12-inch, 14-inch or whole tree chippers, right? Typically, tree companies or arborists, when they buy those large chippers, they're not buying them for the size of material that they want to be able to chip. They're buying them because they'll chip it quickly and efficiently. That brings me to quality over quantity with the Forst chipper. They use a very unique design for their blade system, which drastically reduces the likelihood of you clogging this machine and is going to perform extremely well. Let me get this opened up for you and I can show you what's going on in there. First of all you need is a 19mm socket. A wrench will do. Once you get these freed up, you should be able to turn them out by hand. For convenience today, I'm going to use this impact. So the easiest way to lift this, it is quite heavy, but the easiest way to lift this to gain access to your blades and your chipping disc is going to be from this side, to just give it a nice pull. That way you're here to kind of ease it down nice and easy. So rather than using a drum, this does use a disc, which actually provides a faster chipping process than a drum and prevents clogging. The reason it prevents clogging, what happens is most chippers that are disc style, there's metal connecting these two portions, and the material tends to build up on that metal. And then as that material builds up, it moves into the chip area and creates clogging. So when we sell these units here at SR1 Equipment, we do recommend that you do purchase a spare set of blades, so that if you do happen to get some material through the machine that maybe it does have some metal in it, or you missed a rock and a root ball or something, you have a spare set on site. If you do wear these blades, you can send them out to be resharpened, and you can reuse these blades as well. As I'm looking this unit over, I'm really noticing build quality. I really want to point out the fact that they are using extremely strong, thick, rugged steel on every part of this machine. So the build quality is definitely there. The fit and finish is fantastic. Even the hood is nice, thick steel, and it's very well done. The design is fantastic, and it's a very serviceable unit. Well built. I believe these will absolutely stand the test of time, and they will compete with any commercial chipper on the market. Now that we've peeked under the hood, I want to show you another reason I do really love this unit. I like the chute design. It will rotate 270 degrees. And to rotate the chute, they give you these really handy, like heavy-duty handles that make it really productive and easy to rotate the chute on this unit. It stops there, and it will come all the way back around, and it will stop there. It just won't direct the material back towards the operator. But fantastic design, really well-rounded, durable. There's not a lot to it, so there's not a lot that can go wrong with it. And these handles are really, really fantastic overall, as far as how user-friendly they are. Very, very easy to use. The other thing I like a lot about this unit is the deflector adjustment as well. They give you this handle down here so that you can adjust this deflector very, very easily without, you know, being 7 feet tall. Really, really nice design. Super easy, super simple, not a lot to it. There's not a lot to break. Once you're ready to operate your machine, you can leave your chute in the upright position if you're just tracking out to the location where you're going to be chipping. Once you get to that location, in order for the machine to actually begin feeding, you do have to have the chute in the lowered position, as you see here. But let's say we're there, we're ready to start chipping. Turn the key to the on position, and we do have a glow plug light. We want to allow the machine to preheat the cylinder. Once that's turned off, we can go ahead and start it. Okay, now one thing I notice is it's very quiet. We're at idle RPM at the moment, so I'm not surprised, but let's see what it sounds like when we bring the RPM up. To bring up to operational RPM, you'll adjust it with your RPM knob located right here. Even at operational RPM, it's really not that loud. That's definitely an advantage if you're working with this machine all day. I would absolutely still recommend hearing protection for a prolonged period of time. Once the machine's running and it's ready to activate the feeder, you'll see these green lights illuminate on the touch controls at the chute. To activate the feeder, I just push the button, and the feeder begins feeding. I can control the feeder speed just with this knob mounted here on the side of the hydraulic valve assembly. Now say I'm done with feeding material into the chipper, I can just tap this button, and that's going to stop the feeder immediately. If I need the feeder to reverse, I'll just tap and hold this button, and it will reverse the feed as long as I'm holding the button. When I let go, it will stop again. So once you've completed your chipping project and you're ready to shut the machine down, you're just going to reduce back down to idle RPM, and then you'll simply turn the ignition to the off position. And the machine shuts off just like that. From what I understand, a lot of drum style chippers, when you shut them down, if there's any residual material remaining in the drum, that's when they are susceptible to bind and become clogged. This disc and knife design will prevent that, and everything that's in the chipper will be dispelled upon shutdown. So when maneuvering this piece of equipment to your location where you're going to be chipping material, a couple of things. You may want to just make sure the chute is not pointed directly at you while you're operating the machine. That's just tip number one. And then it just operates like your standard skid steer. So each lever controls one track. So this will operate the corresponding track on the right side, forward and backwards. And then this lever will operate the track on the left side, forward and backwards. So to take a left turn, you would push slightly harder on the right side than the left side. I will say these controls are a bit touchy. So when you first go to use this machine, just, take it slow. Move kind of slowly and methodically at first until you understand how it operates. The platform for the operator, I do like that it has some give to it. It has these rubber bushings down here. So if you're traversing some rougher terrain, this is definitely going to soften the impact to your legs and back while operating this machine through an area. A lot of the time you can be in a bit more of a rougher terrain, or perhaps even dangerous terrain. And if something's happening with this machine and you feel like it might be on the verge of tipping or something, I also like that I'm not enclosed in the machine. I can just get right off of this if I need to in an emergency situation. Forst is definitely willing to stand behind their product. They do give you a 1-year bumper-to-bumper warranty on the entire unit, front to back, unless it's just blatant disregard. But you do have a bumper-to-bumper warranty on the machine, front to back, from the date of purchase. And then the Doosan, we're working on verifying this now, but we do believe the Doosan diesel engine does come standard with a 5-year, 5,000-hour warranty. Our first impressions of the Forst chipper is this is absolutely a premium machine. This chipper is fantastic. The build quality is outstanding. The features, functions, the design is also outstanding. And we believe this machine is going to be a tremendous asset to our customer base moving forward.